The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for attending EDGE's webinar today. Today's webinar is entitled EDGE's Electronic I-9 Service, which is now integrated with WebScreen. My name is Meredith, and I'll be your moderator today. Our presenter is Allison Carpenter. Allison will be demonstrating the seamless integration capabilities of our electronic I-9 service, I-9 Advantage, with our WebScreen system. This will be a brief 15-minute demonstration highlighting the ease of use and features of this product and its integration. If you would like a full demonstration of either I-9 Advantage or WebScreen, you can simply email us and we can schedule that for you. Also, before we begin, I just want to point out that we'll be taking questions at the end of the webinar. To send us your questions, just type them in the questions box in your GoToWebinar dashboard and press send. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and let Allison start.
Okay, I hope everybody can see my screen. We're looking at the main menu of WebScreen. And some of you are probably familiar with WebScreen. Some of you on this call may not be familiar with WebScreen. WebScreen is a platform where most of our clients enter and retrieve their background screening and drug test results. So just a brief overview, you're looking at the dashboard, you've got account information up here, notifications at the top, and then you have tabs where you can run through different things. The first tab here is Add Request. We'll click on that real quick so you can see it if you've never seen it before. The Add Request asks for basic information, identifiers about your applicant. You'll put in their social, last name, first name, etc., their current address. And then down here you can choose different options for setting up WebScreen for locations, positions, that sort of thing. We have a full host of searches that you can scroll through and pick, or we also have packages on the side. A lot of our clients like to utilize the package function, makes it easier. But that's a very brief overview of the Add Request screen. A lot of our clients use this next tab. It's called Reports. This is where they can run different kinds of reports on their account to see how many are pending and that sort of thing. The next tab is where we're going to hang out in today, and it's called View Reports. This is where you're going to receive all your background screening results. And once you click on View Reports, it defaults to pending. As you can see, there's color at the top, pending, and kind of give you a visual of their status and whether they're eligible for hire or have something that you need to look at. And then below is where their background check will be listed. And we'll actually look at our example here today. You simply type in the person's name. The reason that we're going to the View Reports tab is that most likely by the time you're going to use the I-9 integration, you've already done the background check on somebody and you've already hired them. So now all you have to do is go back in the system, find where you've already entered them in. So we're going to type in the last name or part of the last name and hit Find. So I've already done a background check on Elaine Goodall. I'm going to hire her. I've hired her. Now I'm going to do the I-9 form. So I'm going to click on her name. And if this was a regular background check and not a test page, you'd be able to see her full background check below. But what's pertinent to you is up here at the top. It'll tell you all the reports that were run, how many were completed, that sort of thing. We need this Add New Searches option. So we're simply going to click on that. It'll pre-fill all of her basic identifiers that you've already typed in the system back into EDGE's WebScreen program. It'll list her location. Maybe she's moving to a different location. You can always change it. If she has a specific position or different identifiers that you want, you can include them here. But everything else is pre-filled. So all we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to the I-9 Advantage search option, and we're going to get a pop-up box. Now, for some of our clients that are already familiar with the I-9 system as a standalone program, this is an available option, but it's not required. So the reason this pop-up box comes up is it's asking you, basically wants to verify that this person has already been hired. So in order to verify that, it wants you to put in an employee ID number. So we're going to put in an employee ID number, and we'll hit Save, and it'll keep that information. If you have packages, you'd have an I-9 package over here, and you could do the same thing. Click on it, get the same pop-up box. But we've chosen the I-9 search. We put in the employee ID number, and now we're going to hit Process. And for a lot of our clients who are familiar with this program, if you have other searches that you're running on a background check, you'll get pop-up boxes, you put in additional information, and once you've done that, you'll end up on a screen just like this, and it's the confirmation screen. This is where you check all the information about your applicant up at the top, and then you verify what searches are going to be run before they're submitted, and you would hit Submit Searches. So we verify that we just want to run the I-9. As usual, we'll hit Submit, and it'll give us a confirmation number when we're done, but it also pops up the I-9 system, and we're hoping that everything runs smoothly here. So we've got, if you're familiar with the I-9 system, we've already skipped over a couple of the preliminary questions, whether it's a paper form or electronic. All this is going to be electronic, and it's all assuming that they're new hires and they're going to be going through E-Verify. So it's already skipped over some questions for you, and as you can see, it took your information from WebScreen and pre-filled it into the I-9 site. So we're no longer on WebScreen, we are on I-9 Advantage, and you'll see all the required fields are filled in. The employee will be there with you. They'll have to verify that their information is correct, and they'll have to choose their citizenship status below. So we're going to go ahead for this example and hit U.S. citizen. We're going to hit Continue. And then, just like the normal I-9 site, the employee, again, verifies their information is correct. Then they're going to read the statement below and certify that, they've provided the correct information, and they're authorizing their electronic signature. So they're going to hit check the box, and then the employee will hit Continue. And then you, as the employer, will put in your information here to certify that you've helped prepare this. And then we'll check the box, say that we've certified everything here, and hit Continue. And now it comes to Section 2 of the I-9 form. This is where you include your documents that the employee has provided to you. So we're going to scroll down. You see List A and List B. If you're familiar with the I-9 page, it will only give you the options that are available. You can't put in a List C until you've done a List B, so it won't even show it to you. But for this example, we'll do a very basic one. We're going to do the passport. And then it'll give you a note, just a reminder, just like the regular I-9 page that says, make a photocopy of the passport that they've provided. And we're going to put in the document number. And the expiration date. And then down here, just like the regular I-9, you have to certify the correct start date. So if it was yesterday, change the date. Then you're going to check the box to certify that's correct. Then the information as the authorized representative fills in off of your WebScreen username and password. So because this is a test page, it says Edge Integration. We'll change that. And then your other information based off of your username will be pre-filled in this section. If it's incorrect, or if you're helping someone else fill this in, you can change it by typing over it as I did. Then the employer, you, who's filling out this form, will certify that you've examined the documents, that everything's correct and appears genuine. You'll accept the terms, hit Yes, Continue. And this is where it runs through E-Verify, and you'll see up here it shows the case number from E-Verify, and it's utilizing the photo tool. So because we used a passport, you're going to see the exact passport photo that you should have in your hand. I know the example we used was a lane. On the test site, this is, obviously not a lane, but we're going to say that the photo is correct. If it didn't match, you would hit no, and it'll prompt you with other items there. But like I said, for test purposes, we're going to hit yes. And as you can see, it already has processed completely through E-Verify. It's got the case number again, and it says that the person is employment authorized. So they are eligible to work in the United States. And no different from the regular I-9 page, in order to close it out, you have to click Close Case. It'll provide you with additional information here. It'll ask you a question. Is the employee still employed? You're going to say yes. And then the options at the bottom are basically if it's you type something in twice or if it's invalid, but the option you want is yes, the employee continues to work after receiving employment authorized results. We're going to click that, and then we'll submit it. And it says, are you sure? We're going to hit OK. And now you're back on Edge's WebScreen system. And so now it is backtracked and sent the information back to WebScreen that says you've got your E-Verify case number is this, and then below you have the person has been processed through E-Verify and their employment authorized. So for those of you who are familiar with the I-9 page and like to print out the form summary to know that you have completed everything, you can simply right-click and hit print from here and do the same thing. From here, we'll just go ahead and close the window. And once we're done here, this is where you'll see the confirmation number again from Edge's system. And once you're done, you'll hit continue. Takes you back to the add request screen, and you can enter in another person. So this has been like a very brief overview of both WebScreen and the I-9 Advantage system. There's features in both systems that are very, very valuable. We have different positions and other options that are available from WebScreen. And then in the I-9 system, every person who utilizes the I-9 system, each company will still have their own login information so they can access the full site. There's features like duplication alerts and work authorization notifications if someone's about to expire that you'll still all have access to. And if, let's say, you had a tentative non-confirmation when you were processing through the integration, it will still prompt you with all the forms and everything that you'd print out like normal. So it will definitely help to look at both. If you'd like to see a full demonstration of the I-9 Advantage system, we'd be happy to set that up for you too.
Okay, at this point we'll go ahead and take questions. If anybody has any questions specific to the demonstration we just saw, we'll take a minute, let you guys type those in, and go from there.
Okay, we have a couple of great questions here. The first one says, I've signed up with our company with E-Verify. Would it be redundant or unnecessary to send it through Edge? Edge, the I-9 system, if you haven't seen it in its full works, is a great program. Even if you're already signed up with E-Verify, we can work with you to get that switched over through going through Edge first. You'll be able to utilize a lot more features. If you're looking at that, I would say try the demonstration first, see if you like how the I-9 system works on that end before we switch you over directly from E-Verify. I believe that the E-Verify system doesn't necessarily track or let you come back and look at stuff later, but there's some really great benefits to the electronic I-9 system, and Edge can help you get set up with that already, even if you're already with E-Verify. The next question is, can we no longer send an email to the employee? That's a great question. You still can, but that would be accomplished directly through the I-9 system as a standalone product. That's a feature that they have where you can go into the I-9 system, put in their basic information, and email the employee Section 1 of the I-9 form. They complete it themselves and send it back to you. So that's a feature I would still utilize through I-9 Advantage directly. There's a question here, how do we print out the I-9s? That also is on the I-9 system by itself. So what will happen is basically the premise of this webinar is to show you that you can eliminate a lot of duplicate data entry, but there's some things like if you want to print out the specific I-9, you would jump on the actual full version of I-9 Advantage and pull it up from there. So the integration really allows, if you have multiple locations or if you have someone typing in stuff for you, that they can basically quickly put it in without having to re-enter information. Great question. There is the next question here. It says, how can we upload the required ID passport to everything, to keep everything paperless? Again, that's on the I-9 Advantage system. Once you've got somebody in there, you can log back in under your username and password and upload the scanned documents. If you have questions on that, just let me know, and we can definitely help you out with that. The next question is, do we still need to maintain hard copies of I-9s and IDs? If you're utilizing an electronic system like I-9 Advantage that stores and processes all your I-9s electronically, no, that's what the function of the system is. You can do everything paperlessly. So we're getting quite a bit of questions, so I'm going to read over them real quick, and I will start addressing more in just a second. Okay, here's some more of the questions. It says, can multiple people use the system? If so, how many? Yes, we have clients that have multiple locations across many states that have usernames and passwords. You just send us a list and we'll set them up. Right now, I don't think there's a limit to how many people you can have utilizing the system. Same thing with WebScreen. Multiple users over different locations is fine, and different access levels. So you can have somebody on WebScreen that enters stuff in but is not allowed to view results, and so on and so forth. Let's see here. There's one here. It says, if we are in multiple states and have one HR office, can we use the manual I-9 that the employee signs for electronic employee signature? Yes, that is an option, but you may want to look at doing the I-9 demo on independently. As you can see, the couple questions that we skipped through the integration is, one, is there a paper I-9 form? And if you're having someone from another state, you're going to utilize the paper one because it will not ask for that electronic signature. So that's a great question, but try looking at the full demo, and we'll show you how you can do that, no problem, and still process through E-Verify and get your results back. The next one, if I enter the driver's license info on I-9, will it show their picture as well? No, the picture tool is directly from E-Verify, and it utilizes the passport, so it will not work for driver's license and like other, only the List A documents will it show photos. It says, when an employee is terminated, do we still have to terminate them on the I-9 system? It's a really good idea, because the way the I-9 system works is it will purge anybody based off the timeline that you've put in. So if you put in a termination date, it will follow the required timeline, and I can't remember if it's 1 year or 3 years. There's a certain rule to that. I can look it up for you, but termination dates are important to help maintain compliance and removing I-9s that you don't need to have anymore. So I'm going to read a couple more questions here, and then I'll answer some more in just a second. Okay, there's a couple more really great questions. Just as a reminder, if you do have questions that we don't get to answer, please email us. Also, if you'd like to see the full demonstration of I-9 Advantage, again, email us. The email address is info, I-N-F-O, at edgeinformation.com. So again, that's info at edgeinformation.com. And I'll go ahead and answer a couple more questions here. It says, we do just drug testing through Edge. Most of the time they've entered the name incorrectly. Can I change the name on their I-9s? Yes, absolutely. That's why when you do the integration and you click on their name and you bring it up, when you go to view reports, click on their name and it brings up their record. It takes you back to the add request screen where you can edit the information before clicking on the I-9 form. So we can show you that in another demonstration, but yes, absolutely, that can be edited beforehand. I do understand with drug testing, sometimes the labs input it in correctly, and it does need to be fixed beforehand. Another question here, it says, if a passport or permanent resident ID expires, will we be notified through EDGE to update? Of course, it's within the required first 3-year period. The notifications are on the electronic I-9 system. It keeps track of all of them. You can get emails, but take a look at the full I-9 demo, or if you're already utilizing the product, we can show you where to log in to get that information, but it's on the full version of EDGE's Electronic I-9 Advantage. So those are some really, really great questions. If you have more questions, again, please do not hesitate to contact us. We're happy to set up a full-length demonstration and just go through the product with you.
All right, so that will conclude the brief demonstration today. Again, if you need to contact us, you can do so at info@edgeinformation.com, and we'll be more than happy to either set up a demonstration for you or answer a question that we might not have gotten to today. Thank you again.